OSPF summarization in NXOS. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can configure OSPF summarization in NXOS in ABR. You know that in OSPF we can summarize link states only on the ABR and also on the ASPR. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can configure OSPF summarization in ABRs. This means that we can summarize LSA type trees in the OSPF on the ABR. First, we should configure this scenario, and after that we can talk about the summarization of OSPF. Look at the scenario. In this scenario, we have ABR, NXOS1 switch, and also NXOS2. NXOS2 is an internal switch, internal area switch, for example, and also NXOS1 is the ABR, and also we have two connected networks. And after configuring this scenario, I'm going to show you how we can configure summarization of the OSPF routes in ABR for summarizing these two subnets, 172.16.00/24 and 172.16.10/24 to a summary or a supernet. First, we should configure this scenario. Here, I have the configuration of the previous scenario. After some change, we can do this. We can apply this configuration to this current scenario. NXOS1 configuration, the configuration of ABR, the initial configuration, the IP addressing. You can do configuration over the interface VLAN or over the routed interface. I'm going to use the routed interface. Host name is switch 1 and also ETH21. This interface has IP address of 10.1.1/24. We have another interface, ETH22. First, we should convert this interface to the routed port, and also we should address or assign IP address to this interface. The IP address of this interface is 172.16.01/24, the ETH22. And also we have another interface, ETH23. Let me to copy the configuration of the ETH22. The ETH23's interface's IP address is 172.16.11/24. First, we should use the no switch port command, and after that the IP address 172.16.11/24, and finally enabling this interface. This is the initial configuration of the switch 1 or NXOS1. This is our ABR. First, we should copy the configuration in the NXOS1. Look at here. This is the initial part. After that, for the NXOS2, this is NXOS2. We only have one interface Ethernet 2.1. We don't need Ethernet 2.2. First command is no switch port. Then the IP address is 10.1.2.2. That's it. Let me to copy this configuration on the switch 2. After that, the first things is to verifying the configuration until now. With the show IP interface brief, we can check the IP addressing on this scenario. We have on the NXOS1 3 interface. All of these interfaces now have the one IP address, and also all of them are up. Let's go to the NXOS2 show IP interface brief. Here we have Ethernet 2.1, and this is the configuration of the switch 2 until now. The first thing that we can check is, for example, connectivity between the NXOS1 and NXOS2. For example, we can use the ping command, ping 10.1.2.2. Okay. After some second, we will have connectivity. Everything is okay now. Now we should configure the OSPF on the NXOS1. If you need to enable the license, you can use license grace period. I enabled this license before, or maybe in some cases, for example, in the 9K NXOS, maybe you need another license, for example, enterprise license. But the important command for us is feature OSPF. I enabled the feature, we should enable the feature OSPF to using the OSPF function. And after that, for example, for configuring OSPF on the ABR, I'm using router OSPF1, router ID is quad 1, and then we should enable OSPF on the ETH21, ETH22, and ETH23. But ETH21, as you can see here now, is one member of the area 0, and also ETH22. ETH22 and ETH23 are members of the area 0, and ETH21 is a member of area 1. Because of that, we should configure the ETH21 with IP router OSPF 1 area 1 command. This is the configuration of the OSPF on the ABR without the configuration of the, for example, summarization or area range command for summarization. Let me to copy this configuration on the switch 1. This is a configuration of the OSPF. Okay. Then we should go to the switch 2. If you need, you can use the license grace period, feature OSPF, router ID is quad 2, and the router OSPF 1. Then we have ETH21. This is the ETH21. Okay. And the ETH21 now is a member of area 1, IP router OSPF 1 area 1. That's it. Let me to copy the configuration of switch 2. After that, we will have neighborship between these two switches, the OSPF neighborship between these two switches. Show IP OSPF interface brief show us that the ETH22 and ETH23 are members of the, for example, area 0. Let me to check the configuration of ETH21. In ETH21, we should configure, I didn't copy the configuration on for the ETH21. Let me configure here an interface ETH21 with the IP OSPF, okay? IP OSPF, IP router OSPF 1 area 1, okay? Very good. Show IP OSPF interface brief. Now we have ETH21 as a member of area 1, and also in the NXOS2, let me check on the switch 2, show IP OSPF interface brief, we have ETH21 on the area 1. Now we can check the OSPF neighborship between NXOS1 and NXOS2, show IP OSPF neighbor. After some second, we will have neighborship between the router 1, between the switch 1 and switch 2. Here, as you can see, the state now is two-way. After some second, it should change to the full state between two routers. Yes, now two switches now in the state of full. In the switch 2, let me check the routing table. Show IP route received from the OSPF. Show us that we received 2 routes from the switch 1. The goal of this scenario is to summarizing or supernetting these 2 routes. You can configure on the ABR summarization of these 2 routes, and the command is so similar with the configuration of the summarization, ABR summarization in iOS. Let me to show you. In NXOS1, in ABR, this is the ABR, show IP OSPF. Okay, you know that this router is an area border router. Because of that, you can use this command. If you use this command, the summarization command on another routers except ABRs, you don't have any, for example, summarization. Let me to show you. The command is area command, conft again router OSPF 1. You should use the area command. Which area in which area the routes of the subnets are resides in area 0. We need to range area 0 to summarize area 0. Please summarize area 0 to which range? To the range of, okay, which range? You should use here the for example, summary route. The summary of these 2 subnet is 172.16.0.0/23, and after that you have some options. For example, you can configure the cost, or you can configure the not advertised. The cost is a command for configuring the cost of the summary, and not advertised is a feature for filtering the summary. You can use not advertised if you need to use this command for OSPF filtering, and you can use cost command if you need to change the cost of the summary. After that, I'm using this command. Let me to show you the result of this command in the switch 2. In the switch 2, again, I'm using the show IP route OSPF. Now we have only 1 route, because when summary routes are advertised, the subnet routes does not advertise. Because of that, we don't have the subnets. And also, as you can see here, we have 172.16.0.0/23, and this is the unicast best from the 10.121 ETH21. administrative distance of this route is 110, and also the metric is 80. You know that the metric is the best metric